Hello guys, today I will be filming a tutorial. I forget who this was requested by. I'll put an annotation right here with your name on it. Shout out to you, thank you for requesting this tutorial, because I haven't done a tutorial in a while. It will be on how to make a pony chibi like this. And obviously it doesn't have to be the specific character in the specific pose. I'm actually making a different character. This is just Twilight. It doesn't even have to be My Little Pony. It can be any pony you want. I don't have any non-My Little Ponies on my desk. I am sorry. But the materials you will be needing are any kind of polymer clay. I have Sculpey Original because I'm going to be painting over it. So I like this because it's very soft and it's very easy to paint over. Here you can see how soft it is. You're going to be needing any type of blade. I'm using an X-Acto knife. Any type of needle tool. I just got this in a kit at Michael's. An eye pin. I just trimmed mine down. And some kind of super glue. I don't know if you can see that. It's jewelry and metal glue. It's the Aliens brand. The cap doesn't even fit. And for the last stages, you're going to be needing acrylic paint. I like Craftsmart and the DecoArt brand. Some paintbrushes. This is just from the Craftsmart bargain kit. That's not actually what it's called. And then glaze. I like to use this Duraclear gloss varnish. This helps you a lot with painting. This is just a little alligator clamp photo holder. If you hold the eye pin here, it's easy to paint because you don't have to touch it, but that's optional. I am actually going to be using it in this tutorial. So let's get started. First, you want to have your clay conditioned. Since I'm using the Sculpey Original, it's very soft. Oh, you can use any kind of clay you want. I just prefer to paint it because I like the way it looks like that. And I'm not very good at keeping clay clean. And this is also a great way to use scraps. So I just keep this. You're going to see this a lot in this video. I'm going to keep it out for reference. So I'd like to start out with the body. I'm just rolling it into a ball. Small piece about that big. And I'm not going to get it right on the first try. If I do, I will be amazed. Just comparing it. I actually did. Way to go, me. Oh, my camera's being a little drama queen. Might have to cut this into parts, darn. So once you got the body done, you want to set that aside and take another small chunk of clay and roll it to a log. Just cut about 4 even pieces. The last 2 only slightly bigger. Roll them up, adjust to size as necessary. Alright, these are going to be for the legs. You're going to roll them into cones. It's really just a cylinder with a very small taper at the top. You don't want them to be like the horn here. You don't want it that taper. Just teeny bit, as you can see here. If you could see here. And this is going to be the front leg. Just going to attach it on. It may look a little funny, but you see once you blend it out, it'll look a lot better. So just attach it. We'll do all the blending at the same time. And just want to repeat this with the 2 front legs. Now, this may scare you because it looks a lot like Generation 3.5, but don't worry because we're just going to smush it a little bit and it'll look just fine. The smushing, because I'm using Sculpey Original, actually takes care of most of the blending for me, which is great, but not on the inside. The inside is important because otherwise the legs might break off. So you just want to get that with your needle tool. I want it to focus so you can see what I'm doing. And of course it focuses on the background again. It's pretty easy to see what I'm doing. You just want to It doesn't have to be neat because this is inside the legs. This is just to reinforce them to the body. If you wanted to pose the pony, now would be the time to do so. I'm not going to pose my pony, so yep. And then for the back legs, it's the same thing, except I like to make them slightly larger. Now you could put the hawk on. The hawk is this thing right here that sticks out. But since this is a chibi and simplified, I didn't feel it necessary. Your clay might be you might have a little too much clay for the legs, so yeah, fixing that is important. You don't want monster legs on your pony. Yeah, that's way too big. Now, if you want to use like Sculpey clay softener to blend this out, that's alright. But my clay is soft enough, and a needle tool should work just fine. And if you have to, you can use sandpaper after baking. Alright, now that the body is done, we can move right on to the head. So I'm just going to take a piece of clay about this big. You're probably not going to need all of that. Roll it into a ball. I'm just going to compare this. Yeah, mine's a little bit too big. Put the body to the side. You don't want to smush it by accident. Roll the clay into a ball. That looks about right. Now to get this shape, you just want to very lightly squeeze these two ends so you get a wedge. And then do that to the opposite sides. Roll it a bit and continue doing that until you get a nice round shape that you like. I like this one a lot. For stallions, this one's obviously not the correct size, but for stallions, you would just take it, squeeze the sides into a rectangle, flatten that, and then that's a stallion head. So you gotta get it proportionate to the body. Stallions, you would also make their rump a bit bigger and their chest a bit bigger because some of them tend to be more buff. Now once you get the head done, you're going to take the neck and cut it at a slant. That way you can fit the head on and pull the neck up so it has something to rest on. And you're going to put the head on to the pony. If you're not a derp like me, this should be easy. Now you just want to gently blend the neck up into the head. Should not be too hard. We'll take care of blending that later. It's okay if this part is a little bit messy, unless you're doing a pony with short hair like Scootaloo. I think she's the only pony where you would have to blend that, because that should be covered by the mane. And the front legs have kind of a weird shape, so I'm just gonna fix some of it and pull the back legs down. Your pony doesn't have to stand, but that's one way to tell if your legs are an even size. Now is the point where you hate the most, deciding which pony to make. Let's see, for the sake of simplicity, I think I'm gonna make a Bonbon. She is this pony. You know, she doesn't actually look like that. This is just her in a chubby form. She has very simple hair. But before you put the hair on, you want to put the ears. So just take a ball of clay, cut it in half. And then mine was too big, so I'm going to cut that half. And that's not half. No. Okay. You should get 2 balls about, it's like 1/8 of the size of the head. Yeah, that looks about right. Alright, now that you have the ear, just shape it into like a teardrop. I guess you could call that a teardrop. See if it's a nice size for the pony's head. It's okay if it sticks out, because we're just going to blend it. Oh, I put mine on sideways. Easily fixable. Perfect. Do the same with the other half. Before blending them, I like to make sure I got them on evenly, so I don't have to make any ugly marks by cutting them off. Now, if yours look a little ugly around the blending areas, I'm going to show you how to fix that. You just take either a Q-tip or your finger and dip it in a little bit of baby oil right before you bake it, though, because baby oil makes the clay super sticky and super soft, and you don't want to sculpt with that. Yep. Alright, so now that I have her ears on, I just want to tilt her head down a bit more. It's just me. We're going to get started on her lovely nail. Now you can mark in the lines right now on the ears. You see these two lines here? But I prefer to paint them on. It's just less work. Yeah? Now for her hair, this is just for Bonbon's hair. You can skip this part if you're doing another pony. Rid of the odd shape, kind of like a baseball bat without a thingy on the end. And yeah, that should be enough. Place it onto her head. Before you completely place it on, curl this part, kind of like a cinnamon bun. Oh, don't fold her ears down. And then once you get to where the ear is, just give it a slice and cut off that extra piece. And do the same for the other side of her mane. Now with this part of her mane, I like to just kind of sweep it to the side here. It's just a personal preference again. Now we're going to get to the crest. We just did the forelock or the bangs. The crest is this part that sweeps to the side, or the side bangs, I guess you could call it. We're going to form the same tapered cylinder, except this one you can make smaller because it's not going to be wrapping completely around the head. This side you don't have to taper, but I would round it off just a little bit. Then round it off, put the rounded side right where these two pieces of hair meet, and curl this same way you curled the top of the mane. Okay, tail is just as easy. It's pretty much the same as the mane. Just want to take your three pieces of clay, roll them into the cylinders. Same shapes we did for the mane, except slightly less tapered on one side. Then you're going to curl each one only on one side. I like to put two going in opposite directions, and then one going in whatever direction. And I'll put one going this way, the other one, oh no, okay, the other one going this way, put it slightly higher up, and then the third part of her tail, you just kind of put it in the same position, and then you want to group it together like that. It doesn't look like that in the show, but it just keeps the tail more compact. Then you just attach it like that. Voila! Chibi pony. Now, I prefer to secure my eye pins after baking with super glue, but if you want, you can dip it into some TLS. But just make sure your eye pin's long enough to go into the neck. It doesn't have to go through the entire pony. Just from the head into the neck a little bit. That way, you can be sure that the neck doesn't fall off. Now this is time for touch-ups. Anything you think needs fixing. Alright, her mane looks okay. Ugh, keep flopping her ears around. Now I'm just smoothing the pony out. Since my clay is very soft, the one downside is I can't hold it as firmly as I would like to, but yep. Now we're just going to bake, and I'll just upload part 2. This is the sculpting part. Painting is next. I will upload that later. Bye, guys. I love you. Yep. See you later.